dope breakfast. It was a typical like continental buffet, and then also some. Oh, good morning, Marianne. Good morning. Also some scrambled eggs and bacon and deli ham and cheese. Very good. Plenty of coffee, plenty of juice, etc., etc. I'm gonna get all my shit packed, and we'll talk in a few. Ciao. This is my new friend, Yuzo. Buen camino, buen camino.
Yeah, buen camino.
Andiamo. See?
See?
We go.
We go. Yeah.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Good morning. Buenos dias. Buen camino, buen camino. Ciao. Good morning. Just left the albergue, Rosalia. Very nice. I'm very happy with the suggestion that John made. All ground level bunks, not bunks, ground level beds. I was only in a room with 3 other people. No snoring. It was very peaceful, quiet. The bed was comfortable. This morning, a great typical continental breakfast, toast and jam and cereals and fruits, etc., etc. And then I paid an extra €5 for scrambled eggs and bacon and a couple slices of deli meat and cheese. Plenty of juice, coffee. Got everything going. I have a little bit of discomfort on my right leg along my shin. And first when I woke up, I had a shocking amount of pain in my left knee. But as the morning has continued and I stretched it out and moved around, that has gone down a little bit. So I'm a little less concerned with it. I also went ahead and took an Aleve with my multivitamin. So with any luck, that should work itself out as I slowly make my way over these first few kms. I don't know what the plan is for today or where I'm going to end up. I've heard that there's a bit of an incline, so I'll be ready for that. But it should be early in the day, and so we'll have plenty of energy to knock out the hill. Let's see, what else? Met Yuzo from Japan. We had run into each other yesterday. Marianne from the Netherlands. She was there last night. I sat next to Amy from the LA area for our pilgrim dinner, which was delicious. Really great pasta salad, roasted chicken, and the same kind of dessert we had 2 nights ago. It's like a condensed milk with some cinnamon, and it was really good. The one I had 2 nights ago was more liquidy. The one I had last night was whipped, and so it was a little frothy. It's very nice. This morning is cool, crisp as a matter of fact, but the weather reports say it's going to get in the high 60s, certainly mid 60s. So I know that when the sun comes up, it's going to warm up. Ooh, these little towns are so cool. It never ceases to amaze me that everywhere I go, I see, let me get this car to go by. Everywhere I go, I see a building, and it always strikes me that these buildings are older than my entire country, and so it should not be a surprise. Wow. It should not be a surprise that the culture and the history that many of us feel on the way is deeply impactful, especially those of us from America, because we really don't have that kind of history. We've got a different kind of history, and it's short term, or certainly in the recent past. what else to talk about? I don't know. I'm not going to fill any of the room. Oh, yeah. Following up on my video from yesterday, I had some internal feelings about Peregrinos sending their bags ahead and maybe doing it the lazy way, but that's my own problem, okay? That's my own conflict internally. And when I was limping around like an injured zombie this morning, I thought, that's what I get for complaining about it and having these conflicted feelings, is that I thought for a moment, I may have to send my bag ahead. And I may still need to, but I'm going to give it a good shot today. It's 15 miles or less, somewhere between 12 and 15. So, and I need to practice slowing down and being calm. See, tranquilo y cálmame. So, here's my chance to do that. We'll slow down and we'll see what happens. So for now, I will say adios, buen camino. I'll check in as more things pop into my mind or I see something interesting. For example, I think we've seen this a few times, but we got these great fountains everywhere. If I'm not mistaken, that was something that the King of Spain did in the last 60 years, and it's really benefited the Pilgrim Support Network, we could say. Okay, look, so beautiful. Buen camino, my friends. Ciao. Okay, so I mentioned there is kind of a steepish climb early in the morning. It is, I think I see it, up there. So I'm glad I'm full of meat and cheese and plenty of energy. It is 8 o'clock about right now. We're a couple minutes after 8. And the scenery is already stunning. I imagine it's going to be incredible when we get to the top of that hill. I just wanted to point it out. Buen camino. I'm taking this video because I see an optical halo around my shadow. It's a very strange thing, and I wanted to capture it. We got a long walk up the hill, up the hill, up the hill, up the hill. We're doing it. Still climbing, still climbing, Still climbing. Maybe that's the top. Hey, look. It's Yuzo. It's Yuzo. Yuzo. Almost to the top. Those are my friends that I ate pizza with in Logroño. Wow. Look. This seems like a great place for a break. Came from all the way down there. How incredible. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell. This is very steep, very, very steep, all the way downhill. In past days, something like this, I would have jogged down, maybe run down, considering the pain in my shin. I'm not going to. And typically I would use poles, but I'm going to use this beautiful shade that I have to talk a little bit about a couple things. Okay. It was a pretty tough climb up, not so bad actually, and the view from the top was incredible. I was struck by some of the scenery that I saw. And last night I was starting to feel these pains, and even though I was with some people that I had met before and I met new people, as I was kind of going to sleep last night, I don't know why, I felt a little isolated. And then this morning, I was not feeling very good in the shin and my ankle. The ankle feels better. The shin still is very sore, but I was maybe a little despondent about it, maybe a little concerned that my shitty judgment of other people and how they behave and how they choose to do their Camino was maybe biting me back with a little bit of karma. And it's funny that I thought of the word karma and I'm using the word karma. In the past, I have heard from many people, a lot of people say that Radiohead is one of the best, most genius musical acts. Tom York, great composer, Johnny Greenwood, and the whole band. And I've tried to give them a chance, and I've just never got it. It never clicked for me. It seemed so sad and somber, and maybe I just didn't get it. Maybe it wasn't for me. But as I was falling asleep last night, I put my earbuds in, and I don't know why, but I put on a Radiohead playlist that I had made a few years ago as I went through their entire discography and found songs that I didn't hate. I'll just say that. But they didn't click for me. And as I was falling asleep, I was just kind of amazed by, I was starting to get it, the depth of the music that they created. And I had it in my earbuds this morning as I climbed that really long hill. And I was thinking about these feelings of isolation and disappointment in myself and with others and my judgment and all these things, all these very complicated feelings that have been arising over the past few days. And I think it maybe clicked. I won't go so far as to say they're my favorite band or anything, but I think I have gained an appreciation for them that I didn't have before. And now I look forward to maybe over these week or two of crossing the Meseta. Oh, look! It is my friend Gilbert and Rufi. Good morning, Rufi. Bonjour, signor. Hi. Hi, Rufi. I love this dog. Gilbert, how are you this morning?
Yes.
You need to be careful with this. Do you want a pole? You want a pole for the way down? Do you want to use a pole for the way down?
No,
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Au revoir. Incredible. See? Raising my spirits. What a great little dog. He's a champion. And Gilbert with his cart, being very careful on the way down. Wow, that just lifted my spirits as I was feeling like a sad sack and talking about how I was feeling like a sad sack. That's exactly what I needed, and is a great dovetail, a good segue into the other thing that I wanted to talk about here. Some of you who are watching may know me and may know a little bit about my past, but some of you don't know anything about me. And the short version is, in the late 1990s and the early 2000s, I was a house DJ. I grew up near Chicago, and my education in house music was delivered by some of the people who are now considered the greats. I'm thinking Derek Carter, Paul Johnson, Mark Farina, Mark Grant. The list goes on and on and on. DJ Sneak, Dan, like I could just go on, and I won't. But I used to go out on any given weekend and see a number of these guys play at a club or a party. And then when I moved to Colorado in the late 90s, I didn't really hear the specific type of music that I used to hear at home. And so I decided to start playing. As a matter of fact, there's a guy that he had a set of turntables, and it was on his turntables that I mixed my first 2 records together. Over the next, 8 years into the mid 2000s, I was playing quite a bit. I wouldn't say that I had gained a level of notoriety, but anybody who listened to house music in northern Colorado during that 8 or 10 year period has either heard me play or seen my name on a flyer or something like that. That's not the point. I'm not bragging on myself. I'm just saying that that's my history. And for a long time, house music was, it was like who I was. It was my identity. I lived and breathed it. I needed it to survive. It gave me energy and joy. And then I can't explain why, but I stopped feeling that joy. The music didn't do anything for me, didn't make me feel anything. And so I stopped playing. Fast forward 20 years, again, I can't explain why, but I have found my way back to this music, and it started making me feel something. And so I got the itch to play some music. I've still got my records and turntables. The mixer that I had evaporated into dust. It didn't work anymore. And so I decided I would level up. And I got a new controller from Pioneer that I can also use with my turntables. But really, I dove in headfirst to the new digital music, and over the last 4 or 5 months have really been having a great time discovering the new music and putting together sets that I can listen to and share with friends. And there's a lot of great surprises that I could talk about in there, but that's not the point of what I'm talking about right now. What I'm talking about right now is that I've made some reconnections with old friends who I've lost touch with, or for whatever reason, we've moved away from each other, right? They've gotten off of my bus. If my life is a bus and I'm the driver and the people come on and off the bus. But I've made some of these reconnections, and as it turns out, I'm going to be playing what I understand is a 60-minute set at a event on June 19th. It's part of a 3-day celebration. I will post a picture at the end of this video of the flyer, and it's the first time I've seen my name on a flyer in like 20 years, and I couldn't be more excited. There's some big names playing. As I said, it's a 3-day event in Denver. I think it is at Temple Nightclub, which is kind of an interesting thing. The name of the event is it's a spiritual thing, which is funny because here I am on this inward spiritual journey of self-exploration, and I've talked to you about it before. I'm not religious, but it is hard to deny this energy that I feel in myself and around me on this Camino. And one of those funny things is, and I think I mentioned it in another video, this club that I understand I'm playing at used to be called the church, and now it's called the temple. Much more secular in nature. There's all these crazy coincidences, and it really, really makes me happy. So all these things having been explained, getting the thoughts out of my head, hopefully I'm turning a corner and I'm not so poopy today about the behavior of others and the choices they make, because that shouldn't bother me at all. What I should be focused on is me, what's important to me, and my experience. And so I will do just that. I'm glad we had this chat. I distracted myself from the pain. And as you can see, at the bottom of the hill, buen camino, my friends. I got a ways to go before I reach anywhere. The pain in my shin continues. It feels really bad. And I thought maybe it had something to do with the insoles in my shoes. So I just stopped and put on my Crocs. I'm gonna walk in the Crocs for a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be helping either. And I'm worried it might make it worse. So maybe I'll stop and put my shoes back on. I don't know. I don't feel good, but I'm going to keep going. Slow and steady. Other people have it worse. I'll be fine. Buen camino. There's a little oasis here with some benches, and none too soon. I could definitely use it. My shin is screaming at me. I'm going to sit. Maybe massage it and stretch it before I continue. Okay. Look at this. It's beautiful. It appears we have a town in the distance. And a good opportunity to sit with a coffee. Pick up my pole. Let's see you. Okay, I'm just popping in to document this, so I remember like what happens and when. I got this pain in my shin. I talked about it. I'm very aware of it. I'm trying not to let it bother me too much because I've not yet had to deal with any significant pain. Other people have had really bad foot stuff, blisters, etc., etc. This is really my first real pain, so fine. If this is the worst of it, and I can just get through it, it's manageable. But I'm trying to think of where it came from. And I was talking with a fellow pilgrim yesterday and said maybe it has to do with the conditions of the road, the hard road, and just putting a lot of miles on, and it makes it feel like shin splints or something like that. But also yesterday, as I was walking with Jerry, I'm so sorry I forgot his name. He's from Lakewood, but I was walking next to him and we were talking. There's some rocks on the path, and I was taking out my phone and recording a video of the landscape, and I tripped or stumbled or something like that, and I took a spill. And that's immediately when I very first felt the shock of pain along my shin. So I wonder if maybe I twisted something, maybe I pulled a muscle, perhaps I landed on a rock on my shin and it's a bruise. Maybe it's a microfracture. I don't know. I just want to record this so I remember what days these things happen in case it doesn't get better. And then I can say, 3 days ago this happened, and this is the experience of how the feeling has developed over the days. nothing to worry about. If it's serious, I'll go see a doctor. You know, if it doesn't feel better, you know, in a couple days after I ice it and massage it, then maybe I'll stop in at a clinic and have them look at it. I do have travel insurance this time, so maybe this is an excuse to capture the value of my investment. Anyway, buen camino. Oh, I'm sorry. Hola, señor. Wow.
Abbiamo una macchina a burlo. Abbiamo lasciato il tutto pagato, l'ho messo in campagna. 80 euro perché c'è qualcuno che ha pagato molto di più dei ma lì era il campeggio nel prato.
That little building I was in is very cool, and that's the one that I heard about. There's only 8 beds, no power, and it's a testament to the Knights Templar as part of the history of the Camino. Very, very cool, good energy in there. But we move on, and it appears entering a new province in España, Valencia. Let's go. Okay, so a nice little coffee. Would you look at this shit? These are the cookies that taste like the spread that I have in the jar in this bag. We're gonna eat it all today or give it to some people and make some friends, okay? Ciao. I think I see a town up ahead. I do see a town up ahead. I spent most of the day walking with my friend Federico there. It was really nice. The conversation distracted me from the pain. We talked about philosophy, simulation theory, the energy of the universe, Buddhism, life in Milan. Both of us have worked in industries where we had to face death. Me as an EMT. He worked in a hospital morgue. Really great guy. Yeah. The pain I carried with me today, and I pushed through to endure. I hadn't had any yet, and so maybe it was my turn. I used it as an opportunity to think about my mom and my brother and my uncle, and I guess my dog, who I've lost in the last handful of years, and it made it easier to tolerate the pain because in my mind I kind of figured I was carrying it for them, maybe in memory of them, and so it was easy to think of it as a temporary situation, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Anyway, I think there's a town up ahead. If there is, then I hope that that'll be the end of my day, because I'm ready to be done. Anyway, ciao, buen camino. stork?
Really, I don't know.
I saw him earlier and I don't know what kind of bird it is. I think it's a heron.
Absolutely world champion.
Yeah, just a little bit. Hola. Joseph, Norbert, Federico y Jose. Ooh, it's sunny out. Hola, buenas tardes, buen camino. I apologize. I didn't take any video of the dinner. I went to the grocery store, the tienda, and got some dry pasta noodles, some tomato sauce, and some cheese, and some chorizo, and a bottle of wine. And I made a cheap pasta dinner for myself and to share with some friends. And we had a bunch of snacks and bread and wine and water. Like, we made a great pilgrim's dinner, and I wish I would have captured it on video, but I didn't. I ate an awful lot and I feel very full. I'm gonna sleep great tonight. It was a pretty good day. I've still got that shin pain, but one of the Pellegrino friends that I've made in the last few days, turns out she's a physical therapist, and she overheard me talking about my shin pain. Es un cañón, ¿sí? Cañón de cerveza. She heard me talking about my shin pain, and she said, I don't mean to interrupt. I overheard you talking about it. Can I help you? And I said, of course, but I don't want to make you work. But she did a little bit of an examination, and she shared that it was a little bit of tendonitis. Yeah, a little bit of pain here. And so what she said is, I can massage it and elevate it and ice it if I can. But when I massage it, I don't necessarily need to massage where it's painful. She said this tendon, the full muscle body goes up here. I can massage up here, and it should loosen up and provide some support down here. It was a little bit red and inflamed. I think it was very sore. I put 20K on it, so 12 miles. I think tomorrow's another 20K day, but I'm gonna do what I can to move through. I think I mentioned earlier in a video that my friend from Milan, Federico, Pepe is his nickname, Federico, he and I had a really great conversation through most of the day, and it distracted me from the pain, which was very welcome. And if you'll remember, on the way down from this morning's hill, I told a couple stories, or at least shared my thoughts, and by the time I was done sharing those thoughts, it had distracted me enough that I was down all the way without using the poles, and then I was on the flats. So mind over matter, and a little bit of massage and a little bit of cooling will go a long way. And look, it's Luffy! Luffy's out here, so that means Jirer is inside somewhere. I haven't seen him. That's really the update. I'm in the municipal albergue. I think I showed a decent video of it. Nothing fancy. It's very cheap. I think maybe, was it 12 euro or 15 euro for the night? And then my groceries were probably 12 euro, but I shared a lot with other people and they shared with me. Beautiful bottle of wine, a Crianza, from 2021, so 4-year-old Crianza, for like €4.30 or something like that. It's remarkably cheap, and it was very good. So I'm feeling good. I didn't do laundry today, didn't need to. I did take a shower, and tomorrow I'm gonna take it slow and steady. So hasta pronto. We'll talk soon. Buen camino. Ciao. Okay, I know you've seen that church before, and I did my wrapping up of the day video and everything, but I couldn't help it. I went down to a local tienda and got this delicious Nestle dessert. Looks like kind of a graham cracker, ice cream, chocolate covered nut thing. Oh, so beautiful. Whoa, what's that stuff over there? I've been so busy doing my thing, I didn't even notice this stuff. Hold up. There's so much stuff everywhere, and I gotta just move through these towns. It makes me sad, but it also, I don't know, kind of drives home the lesson that I just gotta live in the moment, be present, enjoy what I have. Don't worry about what's over there. Don't worry about what's over there. Focus on what's here. Enjoy what's here. It's a great lesson. Maybe that's a metaphor for the day. Other than sometimes you have to push through pain to get the good stuff. Buen camino, amigos. Yes. Let's sit and eat my ice cream.